This is Ask an Expat with Marcus and Matt from An Expat's Russia, where we answer your questions about what it's like to live, work, and travel in Russia. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to discuss how much vacation time you get in Russia. So Matt, you have a lot more experience working at Russian companies than I do. Can you break down how many days the typical worker gets and what the kind of nuances are?
Sure. So I think one of the things that comes as a big surprise to many Americans who go to Russia is that there's a mandated minimum amount of vacation time. In the United States, usually your vacation time is tied to how well you negotiated when you join a new company and how long you've been with your company. So many people, when they join a company, they get like 10 days if they're lucky in the United States. And then they tell you, over time you'll build more and you'll get more. Of course, if you work at a good company in the US, you get a lot of vacation days right away. So where I currently work, I get 22 vacation days. So for the US standards, that's very, very good.
That's above average, yeah.
Yeah. In Russia, though, everybody gets mandated by law 28 vacation days. So no matter how long you've been in the company, whether you've been there 1 day or 25 years, you get 28 vacation days by law. If you work as like a salaried employee, meaning you work off hours and you're not clocking in and out, then you get an extra 3 vacation days by law. So almost everybody, and I think companies can give more time if they want, but almost none do. I've never heard of that. So it might be that you can't actually. But so you have either 28 or 31 vacation days. And they're very strict kind of about making you take them every year too. You're not allowed to you can carry them over to some degree, but most accounting departments, just like in the US, don't want you to carry days over because if you quit, then they have to pay you all the days. So like if you work for a year and you've got 28 vacation days saved up and you quit, then they have to pay you all of those, and you have to work your mandated kind of notice period. So like if your work contract stipulates that you have to give them a month notice, so then you have to give a month notice, and then they also have to pay you for another month if you quit. Obviously, if they fire you, in Russia, it's very common that you get some sort of severance package. So in such a situation, they're ready to do that. But when you quit, they're not usually ready to do that. So it kind of creates difficulties. But in addition to the vacation days, you'll know about this. I know you were a small business owner. I actually hear a lot of small business owners complaining about this. There's lots of state holidays in Russia. And you have to pay your employees, which is different than the United States. It's like I'm a good employer, I'm going to pay you for Memorial Day. In Russia, there's no choice. Like even if you're working, part-time, whatever, you have to be paid full for that day off. Even if you wouldn't have worked otherwise. So maybe you work every Tuesday, Thursday. Well, next Monday's a holiday, you're getting paid for it, whether that was your work day or not. And so a lot of small business owners are, they don't like that in Russia. There's all these mandated state holidays, and around New Year's, you have almost 2 weeks of, it's like 10 days paid for everyone by the company.
Well, I was just going to say that the 2 times of the year that kind of whether you're an employer or employee, it would depend on whether you celebrate this or not. But January, you have that, week and a half or 2 weeks of the first, the, what are they called? The New Year holidays, right? New Year holidays. Yeah. And then the May holidays. In May, there's from May 1st to May 12th or something, and victory days there. So those are 2 times of the year that, if you're an employer, it's like, well, you're paying the employee's salary anyway, but if you're in the employee, you have that time off. So again, it depends on the industry. Obviously, if you're a bus driver or something like that, it's different, but you're entitled to way more days than the US for sure.
Right. Well, I actually read an article one time about countries with the most vacation days, and they only looked at mandated vacation days. So Russia, they counted as 28 because that's what most people get, but a lot of people do get 31. I got 31 because I was a salaried employee. But in addition, lots of people don't think about how many state vacation days there are, or holidays.
Right.
In the United States, I think we have like 8 or 9 that are generally accepted as days off for everyone. Whereas in Russia, I think it's 14 or 15. So 14 or 15 days off, and then you get, between 28 and 31 days off. You're looking at 45 days off for a lot of people in Russia.
Well, one thing that I would add that, I personally know about is my mother-in-law's sister works for the RZD, Russian Railways. And if you work for certain state companies, I think she has 45 mandated holidays that she can take.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Days off that she can take every year. So, for certain companies, state-run companies and things like that, you do get even more than 28 days. So
right. I believe that I read somewhere that metro drivers, like the guys who drive the trains on the metro, also get extra vacation days because they're working long shifts, and it's, I imagine, grueling work. But the general rule is 28 vacation days, 31 if you're a salaried employee. It's way more than Americans get, even in the best case scenario.
Right.
You combine that with 14 or 15 state holidays. It's, I think the saying, Americans live to work and Russians work to live, is absolutely true. That you get to relax and enjoy life a bit more working in Russia. So I think that's a huge positive for anybody who's considering going to Russia to work.
So that's the answer to how many days off Russians get. If you have any experience or want to know more, comment in the section below, and we'll see you in the next video.